It's those double-decker buses, man. You're like a double-decker bus. You're just
Absolutely.
smooth.
I'm just always drinking tea with the Queen.
Welcome back to Check the Candy. We are introducing the man himself. He goes by many names, many names. Uh, the UK lover, the night owl, um, the British bitch. Uh, there's other names, I'm sure, but
yeah.
we like to call him Alt, aka his real name's Chris, but he said he hates that too. So Alt is what we call him, and we want to welcome Alt onto the family.
AKA alt fiction, my friend.
Yep, Alt Fiction. So
Let's cheers, guys, huh? Our first podcast.
Boom.
cheers.
Cheers.
First, whatever.
Wow, that was terrible. We were just talking about accents. That was the worst accent I've ever heard.
It's only going to get worse. Cool.
Either way, here we go.
Yeah, let's dive in, man. Hey, we're happy to have you aboard, dude. Obviously, we've been
Pleasure.
talking for a few months now. For everybody who doesn't know, Chris here, aka Alt, has been doing a lot of artwork for us. My new movie, Devils Are We, this way. He did the poster artwork. He's done, he's doing also the physical copy artwork for it. He's been working on Nest, which is Taylor's short film that's coming out here in October. He's doing all the artwork for that, and we just kind of formed a little bit of a friendship here, and decided, you know what, he's got same drive that we do, same passion that we do. We just decided that it was time to bring you on, man. So we're excited to have you.
Yeah, plus he's British, and it just makes the show even better.
Way cool. It makes it smooth, man.
Yeah, it's just like it's.
I wouldn't go that far.
It's those double-decker buses, man. You're like a double-decker bus. You're just
Absolutely.
smooth.
I'm just always drinking tea with the Queen. The Queen's dead. Yeah, the King.
Oh no!
It's going so well. Jesus.
Oh no! I love it. Yeah,
okay.
man. So how do you feel, man? You excited?
I am really excited. It's been an absolute pleasure from day one. You guys are awesome, and yeah, I feel honored that you asked me to be a part of this. And I've just been so driven since you guys started feeding me with content. Like, I've got to say, it's definitely been interrupting, like general transmission at my end.
Right.
I feel slightly distracted, but I've had a quiet patch at work, so it's definitely worked in our favor for what we're doing. But I just wake up thinking about Check the Candy. I'm like, I got this idea. Like, my computer is just full of windows of different ideas and bleeding fruits and razor blades and pretty macabre shit. But yeah,
that's awesome, man.
I'm super excited to be a part of this. So yeah, it's good.
Well, that's good. We love that, and to everybody watching, this is not our job. We do this for fucking fun. So, what Alt's talking about is that he's got a business that he runs, and he does it very successfully. And he designs and he creates and he just fucking goes about his day. But just like us, this is the thing he's passionate about. He likes horror. He likes getting out there and creating new things. What he does on his page on Instagram is he puts these epic fucking posters together. Which, where can you get those? All you can get some posters, right?
Yeah, you can buy them from my Etsy store, which is kind of like etsy.com/altfiction. But yeah, that's by the wayside. But yeah.
Oh no, we need to get that out there.
Yeah, right. Link down below.
Yeah, I'm just terribly bad at promoting myself, but I'm good at promoting people. So
well, we're gonna change that. My friend.
Yeah. So what I'm getting at is that he's just like, hey, I like this. This is what I like to do, and we gave him on accident. Because I hit him up and I'm like, yo, your shit's killer. Can we do something? And then Alt and I started talking, and Alt and John and I started talking, and then it became like a threesome. It was just super weird, but we loved it. And
Yes.
we started. Is this too much, John?
No, I love it. I love it. This is what's not to love, right? What I'm saying is what's cool is I really don't, with my movie, most people know on Instagram, or if you follow Check the Candy, that I've been working on Devils Are We for a year and a half. You know what I mean? It's been a really long time. And we almost didn't we weren't going in the direction of having someone create the poster art. That was the last thing on my mind. It was more about the story that I created, the movie I put together. That was really what I was focused on. And about a month before we released, I think we had already even had the release date set,
Yeah,
and still
we did. Yeah,
no artwork for it. And I wasn't really worried about it. And Taylor, it was you who
I
was like,
was. I
yeah,
was
you
like,
were
yo,
like, man, this is like half the battle, I feel like, as far as promoting goes. And like, that's what we do best. And, I
Mhm.
really didn't think about it in that manner because I had so many other things going on. I was kind of in the mindset of, man, if it's good, people will like it. If it's good, people will watch it. But I really think, Alt, when you came into the picture, and sent me those first copies of the artwork, I was like, oh, this is going to make it skyrocket, man. This is a whole nother level that it's going to be on. This makes it feel real, right? Like it felt real to me, obviously, but to everyone else it felt real all of a sudden. We had the trailer drop, which was a big thing, but then when the artwork came out, things really started to pick up. And I think it just drove that many more people to go watch the movie, which, by the way, it's at 49,000 views now on YouTube, right? So
oh
I
yeah,
just want to thank you for putting that together, man, because I really think it had a crucial part. It played a crucial part in all of this. And
yeah. I mean, when you see that thumbnail that you created,
yeah,
that
it's a
that
big
art that you
thing.
put together, it looks good. Like,
Yeah, the
and
thumbnail,
not
the
not
poster,
not to
all I
say
mean, look at
John's,
this shit, like
yeah,
it
not to
just
say
makes people
John's
go
movie
watch it.
doesn't, yeah, not to say John's movie doesn't look good. It's fucking visually
Mm.
perfect, but like
Yeah, yeah.
that, I kept telling John, like, please, do this. Like he's good. And then you did, dude. You knocked it out of the park, man. When you go to our page and you see that, it just looks good. Like
Yeah.
that was like my whole, thinking towards this. And I sat down with John one night and I said, look, I've become friends with him. I like him. He's a good guy. Let's let's do this. And John was like, I love it. Let's fucking rock and roll. He was like, you talk to him. And I was like, I don't want to do it. You talk to him. But either way, we got you on board and we're super fucking pumped about what we can create because you are like-minded. And we talk about this every day, that like-minded people
Mhm.
come together, they create things,
Yeah,
and it's just astronomical. It just keeps building from
Yeah.
there. So we're we're
100%.
we're definitely excited.
Yeah, yeah. It's really easy from a design point of view and creating when you are working with like-minded people and the creative energy just flows. And it's been really, like, with John, with your movie, like it was a godsend because I was kind of working off stills and some correspondence, and then when you sent me the rough cut, well, you remember I sent you three different posters. I was like,
Right.
oh,
Yeah.
yeah. um it's great when you can really identify, and I think it works that I really love horror. And
Yeah.
I just remember watching the movie, and obviously at the time we were all still like feeling each other out and getting the vibe. And I was like, okay, I'm going to watch this movie. I'm going to go in just as a professional, and I'm going to kind of watch it, make some notes, sketch some ideas out. And then I just found myself, like, I said to a friend of mine later, I was like, I went in as a job, as you do, just, professional. And then I was drawn into this movie, and I really dug your movie. So, yeah,
Yeah.
well done, sir. Yeah,
I
it's,
appreciate
What
it,
he
man.
what he means by filling us out was that we all each three dick pics to each other. So we know what we look like. We're all
Absolutely.
best friends. And whenever we meet up, we're gonna cross swords. That
It
is
really
going to happen.
gets the mind working creatively,
It does. I mean, once
I
you
will
know
know, yeah.
somebody, you know. But I want
Now,
you to I
yeah, go
want
ahead, Taylor.
I want Alt to dig in. I want you to tell me how you got to where you're at. What'd you do? Did you go to school? Did you
Okay.
just fucking whatever? Tell me what's going on.
All right. So I have a pretty kind of like bizarre journey. So, I'll try and summarize because otherwise we'll be here for bloody days. So my background is live music originally. So around 12 years ago, I started running a live music venue. And quite early on, it became really clear to me that all the events posters and all these gig posters that I was kind of like pinning up around the building and around the town and, putting on the internet, they were pretty subpar. And like, it's like, I'm sure I could do better. Now, at this stage, I wasn't designing really. But I just started like playing around. And yeah, it kind of developed from there. And I was like, okay, I was putting these posters together and they were getting really well received. And like footfall was growing at the venue. And it was like, okay, I might be onto something here. And it kind of just went from there. So I made a lot of gig posters for 10 years. And I've made gig posters for pretty big names in that time as well. Now, like I've made gig posters for Willie Mason, Maceo from De La Soul. Yeah, the list goes on. And it's been quite humbling to actually meet a lot of those artists and get positive feedback. And it kind of just rolled from there. And then I lost my job a year after, or give or take, that I got married, which pretty sucked.
Wow.
That
Yeah.
does suck.
So at that point, it was kind of where I really started to dig in more and was like, okay, maybe I need to really focus on the design aspect of my life. And I'm a bit of a cliche in the fact that I made coffee in the interim because, baristas, such a fucking cliche, like designers with their horn rim glasses and their laptops. But I kind of just paid the bills working as a barista and carried on like honing my craft. And then it was it was the beginning of the pandemic. I had left making coffee and become a professional retoucher for a sports company. And it was at that point, like first wave in the UK. I'm not sure what you guys know, Taylor. We've touched base on it, but in the UK, it went like disaster movie. So, 7 o'clock in the evening, the TV signal drops, and the Prime Minister just appears on every TV channel and says, "You can't go outside. This is a national." Yeah. So, we all lived it, but it was pretty severe over here.
But during all that, didn't you start Lone Pine Apparel?
Yeah. So it was at that point. Yeah. Where I was like, okay, so my wife and a good friend of mine, we just decided to put a t-shirt company together and come up with some cool ideas and, just kill some time and be creative. I think because everybody was getting stir crazy. We were all trapped in our houses. We couldn't like go outside.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was kind of the beginning, if you will, of that whole creative side avenue. That like it just seemed like what became really obvious early on was the horror community and how supportive and how amazing it is, which I still try and explain that to people who aren't in that kind of realm. And I'm like, this community is one of the most supportive and kind, and just everybody gets behind you. It's a great place, and
it's different. Like
it
really is.
It really is, man. It's like social media, especially for like the horror community, is completely different than all other social media. Like there's a lot of just like toxicity everywhere else, and like, but in the horror community it really felt like you could make friends and you could talk. People were willing to talk about movies and this like certain like-mindedness you had with everyone. And all of a sudden you're talking to different people and look at Check the Candy, for instance. It's Taylor and I met through this. We've never even met before. It's this whole thing. And all of a sudden you have new friends and you're talking to people directly and not just on on Instagram out in the open, but through direct messaging and in your personal lives and all that kind of stuff. I mean, look how this trio has come together. It's like out of absolutely nowhere. And just through the love of and passion of making movies, watching movies, creating art for movies, like all this stuff has brought all of us together. And it's like such a weird, positive thing that it's hard to explain to people for sure.
And thousands of miles apart, like you said,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you're the wizard across the pond, you know, like it's crazy that we've met somebody from the UK. Might I add that it's like fucking one almost. It's almost
Almost
one
one.
o'clock.
Almost one.
Almost 1 o'clock in the morning. It's almost 7 for me, 8 for John. So let's give it up for this guy. He's a fucking trooper. But yeah, I mean we've met each other and we fucking created a bond. We all have the same passion. So it's crazy looking at it. Like you said, all it is nuts. It's hard to explain to other people that this is it's a friendship because we all truly enjoy this certain thing, you know. And then when, like we've said millions of times, when like-minded people get together, it's crazy, you know. It's almost like a church.
Well, it's true. It's a place to go to, you know, talk about your craft, your passions, your everything like that, and your hard work, and it always like, and it obviously it bleeds into your personal life. Like we just had a conversation off air about our personal lives, and but it also bleeds. It just always comes back to movies and having fun with it and our passions and stuff.
It's our childhood, you know.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
but
I mean,
go ahead.
so to summarize, when that all fell apart, I then formed my company, my design agency, and then off the side, it started as a side hustle. I make movie posters, as you guys know, and a lot of fan art. And I just thought, you know what? Let's just put it out there and kind of just see if there's a reception. And it was a fun side project, which every creative needs, you know. Yeah, I design for a living, but you know, I do a lot of boring corporate work. So it was fun to have this avenue and then get recognition, which I'm sure you guys can appreciate. And it's how we found each other, really, isn't it? So yeah, long story short, it's been really good. It's been great to like meet you guys and for this trio to form, you know, this powerhouse. And I really hope, I believe that we can take it places, you know, because everybody's coming from the same place. And that's
absolutely.
I don't want to call it a trio. I want to call it a threesome.
All right.
Like,
all right. I
like it. I like it.
So you did have like, so with your daytime, let's just say that your daytime business, your real job, you've created some cool stuff. Like you've worked on like I think you were telling me you were doing, they wanted names and the steps of like concert venues and stuff like that. Like you've done some pretty cool shit though. Like, right? What's the extent of what you work on? You've created logos for fucking bars that you go to. You know? Let me know about that.
So my company is it's essentially you know, I do a lot of creative work in a lot of different places, but because of my background, I definitely work more with music venues, bars, and that kind of hospitality. And yeah, I've just been really blessed with some really great clients who've got great ideas and have trusted me, you know, to like brand their businesses. The town I live in, you kind of walk up the high street. It's like a showroom for my work. It's kind of cool. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah,
it is awesome.
I also like that real world moment, which anybody will know who does design or anything, you know, where you get to see it in real life. You know, it's that amazing tangible moment when a sign writer arrives and they put your design on an enormous front to a building or in neon.
Neon lights,
yeah. It's also this weird thing of like, you know, it's that old saying of like, once you put your art into the world, it's no longer yours, it's everybody else's. So like it's that cool, you know, moment of like, hey, now now it's out in the world. It's part of this world. It's everywhere now. Which is such a cool thing. And I think with Check the Candy, that's what we were looking for.
Mm.
Taylor and I were looking for. We were looking to say, hey, a lot of the compliments we've gotten are from our colors, the name, all this stuff, and we didn't have a way of kind of pushing that into the world. And like
Mm.
now with you coming on board, this is the opportunity to kind of make that happen, and like hopefully one
Yeah.
day we see a storefront with Check the Candy on it, you know what I mean, or many thousand more views on YouTube and merchandise, and one day we'll see someone walking down the street with the shirt on, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's so important with art, not just in the horror community, but like you're
Mhm.
doing on your regular job.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Just knowing that you have that experience and you've done that already is makes it very easy for
Mm.
us, and made the decision very easy for us to do so, because like we told everybody before at the beginning that this hasn't been a long relationship yet.
Mhm.
This is just kind of the birth of it, and there's going to be a lot
Yeah, yeah.
of budding and then flowering to come.
Mhm.
And I'm just super excited, man. And I think this episode is, we don't want to go too long on this episode for it, but really what this episode was for is to bring you, to show people that you're on board, to bring you on board, and to show that this is just the beginning. I mean, this is going to go somewhere, and we're really going to work hard, all three of us, to bring something unique to the horror community.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. And might I add that we have 20 minutes, so let's go there. But like we, what I feel like we're John. I mean, you could probably attest to this. Like, I think we're more driven towards indie. Like we're
Yeah.
indie. We love indie.
Well,
Like,
especially right now, because that's what we are. Like,
yeah. Well, like it just in general. Like I watched these. I mean, I just watched a movie the other day. It's called Followers. I found it at
and we need them.
dollar.
So hit that
Yeah,
subscribe button.
there you go. I found it at Dollar General, and the reason why I bought this was because they had all the film festivals that they went
Mhm.
to. They only had 4 of them, but like still, it's incredible, and it was a great
Come to
movie.
find out, that's a lot.
It is. It is a
you know,
lot. It is a lot, and that what I want to do with this podcast is I want to draw people to those types of films. Like
and I think it's
we
drawn
we
us more to that too, right?
it
Like
has
if
it has
if I'm not mistaken, Taylor, both of us, I have never watched so many indie films in my life,
yeah
especially like low level, or I wouldn't even consider them low level. I think a lot of people would, but like, you know, projects and stories that like I don't think a year ago I would have been paying attention to,
yeah
or even got the chance to recognize. And it's brought that so much, so much of that indie lifestyle into Check the Candy, and it's kind of grown into its own thing.
yeah,
Mhm.
and with these films, they're good, but
Yeah,
not everybody knows about them. So that's
right.
that's my thing. Like I want to watch as many as I can. And I want to find the people who did this, and I want to say, hey, do you want to come on here so we can actually talk about this? Because I don't know if you've done any before or whatever, but it needs recognition. You did a great fucking job. Like,
Yeah, and it's
and it,
curiosity too, right? Like,
yes, for us
most of
as
the
well. Like,
episodes we've done so far have been, we're curious about the film and what went into it, behind the scenes, the details, how much it took to make them, what drove these people to make them, what's your next film, getting these people out there as much as we possibly can. A lot of the people we've talked to have honestly have been out there already, kind of in the game, but I think, by having more podcasts and more brands pay attention to that type of content, like we're all trying to do here, is a huge thing, and we
yeah,
want to keep pushing that forward.
Definitely.
100%, 100%,
Fuck
guys.
yeah, man! Fuck yeah, dude! I'm just excited about this partnership, dude, because
Yeah.
I just think that's what Check the Candy was missing out of everything. Obviously we have a lot of room to grow as far as becoming better podcasters, interviewers, creating better content in general. Me and Taylor both have a lot of growing to do as far as filmmaking goes. Um,
Mhm.
but bringing you on Alt has been will be a blessing. You know what I mean? Just you know,
Because We have the art to
merchandise
back us.
logo. Yeah,
Like,
absolutely. That thing
did you
that
see
catches
Guts?
everybody's eyes.
Did you see Guts the other day? They
Yeah,
posted the new merch. Like,
yeah, but did you see who it was?
no,
Yeah, dude, that was saddest art. That's the guy that Rob
Yeah,
York was talking
Rob
about.
York was talking
oh,
about that dude.
okay,
Yeah, yeah.
okay,
That did the witching season stuff.
Mhm.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Same artist. And
Yeah.
it
and
looks
that
great. That's what caught my eye. That's what caught my
and
eye.
that
And I really feel like Check the Candy can have that same effect
that's
with
exactly what
alt.
I want to draw to us because I know all has the ability to do that.
Mhm.
That's what I wanted to do. Like
Absolutely.
we can create things not just because of our movies or the podcast, whatever. Like if we just decide to get together and take some pictures and send it over to all can be like, hey, look what
Yeah.
I've done.
Yeah, he's gonna
Like
conjure. He's gonna work that pond wizard magic on it. He's gonna be in a
yeah,
cauldron. Fucking. I'm gonna get this over to
Pond
America.
Pond Wizard. It's a new name.
Yeah, he's across the pond, right?
But
Yeah,
I think that's definitely something that I always want you guys to be fully aware of is that I only have the interest of Check the Candy and what you
Right.
guys are doing. It's I wouldn't have got on board. I wouldn't have said yes if I didn't think I could bring something to the table and that I didn't dig what you were already doing. So
Right.
I think that's the thing for me. As soon as we started talking, I was like, I like what these guys are saying. I identify with their whole ideology and what they're trying to drive towards.
yeah,
And yeah, I want to be a part of it. And
So,
it straight away, it was like lightning in a bottle. Well, you remember, I was like, I need these shots of you so I can start
yeah,
getting these ideas out. And I had this idea straight off the bat. And it was actually it was quite interesting watching the Rob York episode and then him talking about like sadistic art and that
yeah.
whole thing. I was like, well, that was kind of how it all began, wasn't it? Like you guys described that you wanted this kind of illustrated like personality to what you were doing, and yeah, and now we have that, with the images we released last week. I
Oh
think it
yeah,
worked.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I
yeah,
just love your artwork and just your style anyway. I had told you all in a conversation that we had that those were like my two favorite
Mhm.
styles. I sent you the Curse of Crom
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
poster. I'm like, hey, we're having the director of this movie on. Like, check out this artwork. And I was like, this type of artwork and then your type of artwork and your style is exactly what I love. And that's going to just bring it's going to be heavy hitters every time for Check the Candy from here on out. And I have no problem getting on that hype train, because if anybody knows Check the Candy so far, Taylor and I, we are just, it's been punk rock of some sorts, right? Like it's very like, you know what? Let's just go with what we feel is right. And if people don't like it, then that's fine. And if they do like it,
yeah. They
we're
can
gonna
fuck
fuck.
up.
If they like it, we're gonna fucking rock with them. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? Like that's our
Yeah,
shit, and
I'm gonna
we're gonna
I'm
go
gonna
with it.
grow a fucking mohawk. That's what I'm gonna do.
But it's that mentality I think that we all
I
kind of
like it.
had when we clicked, where we're like, hey, like this is what we love to do, and we're gonna push what we love to do. And if people love it, we're gonna rock with them. And if they don't, that's okay too. And I think that's what's gonna make this trio so compelling to people.
And I
It's
think,
gonna bring a different style.
yeah, yeah, it comes across as well. Like your personalities are really great, and
Yeah,
that comes across in everything you do. And it was
and completely different, might I add, right?
absolutely,
In
yeah,
in a
yeah,
good
you
in a
are,
good way.
yeah, you are perfect yin and yang, and I think it works really well. And I was laying up some artwork the other day, like that artwork that we threw on the YouTube channel, and it just works because you guys are so different, and yet you work so perfectly together,
Right.
and that makes the art process really fun. And also, side note to everybody watching is like these guys, they are full players. They fully get involved because I asked them to do some stupid shit. Like, and Taylor said like, I feel fucking weird. I'm like on my own taking photographs in front of a green screen, but and I'm like, I
Yeah.
need you to pose like this and like you're holding something. But yeah, and that's the joys of our great partnership with this huge, great big pond between us. But it works. So
Yeah, and
It
that's the
does.
brilliance of it. Like I said before, man, it's just the budding
mhm.
part of the process right now. It's like we haven't even flowered into anything yet. And like I can't wait for people to see that when that actually happens, when this relationship grows and Check the
Yeah.
Candy grows with it and becomes this monstrous fucking, fucking sunflower you know, in the wind, man. Like we're just gonna be crushing, dude. Like it's gonna be stupid. But we're, you know, the sun, you know, a pretty sunflower, but also like fucking
You know,
sunflower. You know what I'm saying?
it doesn't happen overnight, and that's the
No,
thing
it
No.
doesn't,
is
man. It
that
doesn't. And we've already
we're
had that conversation between us three. Like
yeah,
it takes time, and it's
and
gonna take patience as
that's the
well,
great
you
thing
know?
though, because we get to know each other and we get to grow together and we get to fucking know how each one of us works. You know,
Right.
like Alt can literally tell John something, he could tell me something, we know what he's fucking saying, you know, or we can tell Alt something, he's like, all right, yeah, I fucking get what you're getting at. You know,
Mhm.
like that's
Yeah, and
that's the
it
whole
takes
thing.
time to get on that same track, right? Like right now, I feel like we're all kind of like going the same direction, but
Mhm.
maybe we're on a little bit, we're kind of crisscrossing, and eventually you grow those relationships. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, that's a good thing.
Mhm.
You know, sometimes when you, like you were saying, all with Taylor and I, like the yin and yang thing, like we're on the same path and like everything, but we're also kind of in two different, we're in two different vehicles, you know what I mean? But like we're
Yeah,
on
yeah,
the
yeah.
same path. And I feel like, so that's a good thing that all three of us are kind of like, hey, we're doing this right now. And look how good it is.
Yeah,
Imagine
yeah.
we all of a sudden are going
Mhm.
like this. You know what I mean? I think some brilliant things are going to come out of this. And I'm just excited to get the creative process, all of it. I mean, all of it is going to be great.
I
It's
agree.
it's exciting. Yeah, yeah. I'm fully on board.
Yeah, I'm pumped, man.
Um,
Taylor, I don't know how much time we got left, but I think that's probably pretty good right there.
Yeah. We're good. I want to give a shout out to AMP.
Hell
Uh,
yeah.
I just got their
Murder
Blu-ray in
Sounds.
today. The murder size. Yeah, just got that in today. I popped that on. It was fucking great. I cannot.
Another company and production duo that are on top of the indie game right now for sure.
Yeah, 100%. And they're great people. Honestly, the best people. You can't beat Angie and Paul, man. They're
No,
fucking.
they're great. They're great people
they're,
too. They're so fun to talk
yeah.
to. I can't wait to have them on again.
So this is something I can't wait to talk to. We're gonna get them back on the podcast. We're gonna
Yeah.
talk to them a little bit and just shoot the shit. Um, so yeah, either way, we're super happy to have Alt on board. As you can tell, he's a beautiful, sexy British man.
Yes.
Um, everything about him is absolutely perfect. Other than that, John, do you have anything else to say before I
Yeah,
fuck
well,
up?
this dope partnership that we got coming on, I mean, we're probably gonna, you know, be talking a lot behind the scenes about new merchandise, stuff like that. Obviously, Devils Are We is out right now, over 49,000 views on YouTube. So make sure you guys subscribe to the channel to check that out. Taylor's got his new short film Nest coming out in October. Can't wait for that to drop. Make sure you guys check that out. We do have my other short film Worm on the channel as well. Make sure you guys check that out. So this is a whole nother now that
And
we've,
there's
you know, we've added alt as well. But also we kind of have backyard horror going on as well, where we're putting out films and we're doing our
yeah,
creative process with filmmaking and stuff. So that's a whole nother piece of Check the Candy that's kind of adding to the puzzle. So make sure you guys
that's
check
our
that out as well.
yes. We have much. I wasn't listening too much, but like we have plenty coming out though. Like John and
Yeah.
I, we're meeting. You didn't say this, did you?
No, I didn't.
Okay, we're meeting up soon.
Yeah,
Like
very soon, like a
next
couple
next
weeks.
couple, yeah, a couple weeks. We're gonna be putting together a short film. I've got more wrote. He's got more wrote.
Yeah.
Alt's got more.
Art coming.
Designing coming through.
Yeah, a lot in the works. A lot in the
We're gonna
works.
do this, man. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah,
Like
I'm excited.
yin and yang brings yi or something like that. I don't know. It
We'll
was
call
wrote in
it
the
that.
Bible, but
But yeah, a lot to come, guys. A lot of different dynamics coming together here, and we're working it out, and it's going to be a great full display here. So we're excited about more to come for Check the Candy, and make sure you guys stay tuned, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.
deuces.